Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're talking with Ian Almasi today. I'm John Khosravi, a publisher of the Immigration Lawyers Toolbox magazine, the podcast, an immigration lawyer. I'd have the email for Immigration Lawyers Toolbox here at the bottom, but it doesn't fit in this StreamYard box. So I'd probably just remove my email and just say John Khosravi. But Ian, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, I'm happy to be on here, John. Thanks for having me.
So, you were nice enough to contribute an article. You're a sponsor, but your sponsorship was this really nice article breaking down an aspect of marketing and business management for immigration law practices, which is your focus. The Immigration Lawyers Toolbox magazine, the first issue is out. The link will be in the description below. But could you briefly explain what you do and what service you provide for immigration lawyers, and we'll take from there?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the article was about having an inside sales agent, which is someone that's just very much dedicated to outbound prospecting and sales for your business.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, the term kind of refers to like a call center employee. We have a team of those people, but a lot of what we do is we outsource or not outsource. We automate the intake process for immigration lawyers because a lot of the times it takes way too much time to
Yeah,
actually run an immigration law practice, as I'm sure you know, John.
definitely.
And so what we really want to do is give people their time back so they can build their business. And we've managed to find a way that's really effective with that. So people can spend more time with their families, their staff are a bit happier at work, and they can actually grow without having to pull their hair out.
So this particular aspect of what you do, because there's different aspects you're expert on when it comes to, in particular, our niche of immigration law. But it's like, there's calling services, but they're a better level internally for them to take the client in and be able to get the information and to kind of do a soft sale for them to close the consultation.
Yeah, so a lot of what our model is for one, we have dedicated people. So when you work with us, and we also have a third party answering service that's like similar to Lex Reception and Smith AI, they're separate.
Mm-hmm.
What an ISA is it's a dedicated person for your business. And so this dedicated person, like if you're on consults all day, sending out agreements and also doing legal work, you don't always have time to follow up with people. So this is someone that can follow up on your agreements. They can do surveys for you, asking if your clients are happy. One big thing they do is they reach out and kind of pre-qualify appointments, so the consultation gets booked. They know, hey, I need a marriage green card, but they can call out and kind of ask those 3 to 5 critical questions. And in this assisted selling model, the really, really cool thing about it is these people can help you sell without giving legal advice. Is
Mm-hmm.
because they're there mostly just for the hand holding and customer service side of it. And it's some people just need more time. So those random questions that you're getting from people are just, oh, hey, like I get my paycheck next week, but I have $1,800 to get started. Can I do it now? Like, as an attorney, you don't want to be dealing with that. But someone that's sole responsibility is taking care of that. It's very valuable. Then the nice thing too is like when you have somebody where their sole thing is actually qualifying and dealing with your leads, it's like the amount of actual focus they get like will really help increase the intake rate. And there's a bunch of advantages to it.
Cool. And is a question that'll come up with lawyers, like, is this a person that becomes a staff member, a W-2 employee, or how does the fee structure, that kind of stuff work?
So the ISA industry is very broad.
Mhm.
There's a lot of them. So realize this is a multi-million-dollar, maybe billion-dollar industry. The real estate space has been using this for decades. It's been really popular there. We adapted it to legal, and there's a few companies that do all this also. Intake conversion experts is one. Alert communication. I don't think they're niche specific to what we do or to immigration, our industry. But this person, an inside sales agent, is a job title.
Mhm.
And so one thing is like you can pay them however you want. Like if you want to hire a company like ours, you can pay somebody 1099 if you want to. You can hire them on as an employee. It just depends how you want to do it. For example, if you were to hire, an assistant, you could staff them through a separate company. You could hire somebody from Upwork. You could hire a W-2 employee. It's really the same thing.
Interesting. So, what got you into this area? Because it's what you do is much broader. I mean, Immigration Finder itself, it does more than this, which was the focus of your article. What briefly got you into the industry, and what do you do most of your time when it comes to helping people with their business and marketing?
So, well, first thing, what got me into this industry is I went to a meditation retreat in Monterey, California, and I met an immigration lawyer named Jacob Zapochnik. And so I met him. And then from there, I got a cell phone number and, I was already in the marketing call center space. And then I called him for 6 weeks until he paid me. And so, yeah, he ended up becoming a client. That was the end of 2018. And then from there, what we did after that was we just continued to work together. actually moved to San Diego and started working with him more closely, actually going to his office. And, that was when we got a lot more involved in, I guess, the industry itself, because
Hmm.
we were actually just there, like next to people doing cases and next to people answering the phone, and, at the same time helping people with these things. And we saw this very large opportunity, and Jacob has a thriving, awesome business. But obviously, it's just the volume of inquiries that people get, and I'm sure you've dealt with that, John. You probably inbox is flooded.
I mean, for people that don't know Jacob, he's one of the biggest, if not number one or two biggest immigration lawyer in social media. So having experience with him means you've seen the highest volume, most amount of you could do. No one else is probably going to be matching up to the volume of cold leads that are going to come to his office, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Oh, and it's really amazing, like just how many inquiries people can get, and there's a lot of other lawyers, and I think the industry is kind of catching on a lot. I do still think that lawyers on social media is still somewhat of an anomaly, even if you like. I know a lot of the ones that are,
Yeah.
and I think there is kind of that hesitation to kind of start, because there's a lot of these like odd questions. And I was actually talking to a client this morning. It's like, about all the legal ethics laws about like direct outreach and marketing. They all came out before the digital age. Like, you can pay for direct messages on LinkedIn to people you don't know based on their job title, but is that direct outreach?
Yeah.
So it's granted, we don't necessarily help with that as a business, but it's stuff we're very conscious of. And a lot of what we're doing is just due to the fact there's so many different areas of immigration, we're really working on finding systems to actually find clients or help people close clients in different industries. So if
Yeah.
people want to do employment cases, they have outlets for that. If people want to do court work, they have outlets for that. And it's been really fun figuring out, because there's so many different verticals within the immigration space to explore.
Interesting. So it seems like you're kind of making a switch to not just the marketing, but more of internal management and lead control. Like there, Jacob was talking about a new system where he has a special caller, a person that calls up clients just to see how they're doing every week, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that leads to more business or finding if there's problems to solve problems before they become bigger problems, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to speak specifically to what's going on in his office, but yeah, and that's been things like that are a very huge improvement for people, and the customers love it. They love communicating with them. I mean, if you go on Google, there's a lot of reviews about lawyers that maybe don't have time to talk to them, but
Yeah.
it doesn't always have to. The pressure doesn't always have to be on you, the attorney. I mean, like, your office like can do a lot of that work for you. And I think that's like attorneys, they're very hardworking and diligent. They go to law school for a long time. And I think that whole kind of maybe asking for help or delegating things can kind of be difficult. And once you do, it's really a big relief. And that's what we really enjoy, is helping people with that. Is we can take people from working 12 hours a day or 16 hours a day filing cases to actually spending weekends with their families and not feeling guilty. And that's or being able to travel or run their law firm from their cell phone.
Yeah.
That's something we really love helping people with.
So, which direction do you think immigration law marketing? I mean, you say immigration law is kind of too niche because, like, what's really interesting is you said you took a concept that's been thriving in real estate and bring it here. And something I do, like, when I get ideas for marketing, I kind of look at other industries, like even plumbers or whoever it is, actors. What are they doing? Because we're probably immigration lawyers, and then immigration lawyers are the last person in the whole business world that catches on to any trends that happen. Maybe immigration lawyers are a little better at now, especially because of federal practice. And I kind of see them more on TikTok than other types of lawyers, because we're not bound by a state, so it makes more sense to just be as broad as possible. But what stuff are you seeing on the horizon with regards to marketing and advertising when it comes to law and immigration lawyers in particular?
So a lot of the trends I'm seeing are just kind of like it's the direction anything's going. People want things very quickly. They don't want to pay as much up front. The whole like free ebook concept has kind of the whole live chat concept of, oh, hey, I want something free and right now first. It's kind of coming in, and you've seen this a lot just from like webinars coming out. A lot of lawyers are becoming successful at that. And also, I think the other thing too is this is the first time ever that people have had such an opportunity to educate their buyers. And I think like with all the content you're doing online, John, and other lawyers, it gives you an opportunity to do that. And that's the direction I'm kind of seeing it going. Is, for one, like, you can really supplement your sales process with a lot of these free things. But I think, just like anything, you want to kind of engage a lot of that reciprocation. And I'm sure, like, if you're a lawyer watching this, you have been cold called and cold emailed all the time for someone that has some $3,000 offer. You have no idea what it is. And usually the people that get through to you are the people that call you up and maybe they do a free report for you, or they want to build that, they want to do something nice for you to at least just kind of get in the door. And it's kind of that same concept, but we're also at an awesome part now where you can automate the free part, the free stuff you give people. And so it's I think it's going the direction a lot of other industries are, where hey, it's free and fast as the first thing is really one of the things people are looking at.
Yeah, kind of give the value first so they see what's going on, and then they get it in. And with the mass audience, you could have 1,000 people see it, and you just get that one that you need that pays a high dollar amount. It's definitely an interesting thing. I've set up kind of systems like this. It does take time to set it up, but once it's set up, just tweaking here and there. But getting that hurdle of just beginning to set it up, it's hard. And I do all my stuff because I get a kick out of doing this stuff, but at the same time, I don't practice that many hours like other lawyers do. This is my garage right here. I have a nice background, so I keep it kind of simple, low cost. So it gives me free time to just dabble in this and that, and launch magazines and stuff like that. So it's really hard for other people who are actually practicing like full time to be able to pull that off. So having team and people know how to do it instead of reinventing the wheel makes a lot of sense. What is one of your? Do you get into ads like Facebook ads, YouTube ads, LinkedIn ads, and stuff like that?
Yeah, so we do just about everything an immigration firm needs, other than the actual legal work, human resources, and accounting, their books.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do, so pretty much anything customer facing, yeah, we definitely help with. But yeah, we do their advertising. A lot of how we operate, though, is we build intake systems for people so they know they can profitably market. Because if anybody's paid for ads, if you get swamped with leads, it's not fun. You have 80 people in your inbox you got to go back and deal with. What we really want to create is just a stress-free way to handle those, and also an outlet for people to ask for help. So that way, when they need to hire more people, they're using an actual tangible system that doesn't have to be super complex or take a long time to set up, but just something that's very user friendly that's going to help people get across the finish line, because the client wants that too. I mean, like, when you're talking to prospective clients, like, they're looking for businesses that are easy to work with. Like, they want a lawyer that's going to make it easy for them and going to like explain them the process. And so if you can make it easy for your staff and it gets passed on, they're going to get that impression as, and that's kind of, for the staff. And also for the prospective buyers, we want to remove all the friction from the intake process. And then this also sets the expectation is when you're working on cases, if you want information from them quickly, if you want them to be on time, if you want, whatever it is, if you want them to communicate well, if you don't want them to ghost you for 2 weeks because they wanted to go on vacation in the middle of their case, that's you can really set that expectation by having these smooth parts. And then what you can do is once you build that out, which doesn't have to take super long, it can take super long if you have an existing company, is what you can do next is run ads profitably and not be stressed out, not be worried about the 5-10 grand you're putting towards Google and asking yourself if you're getting a return.
Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to taking this intake, how hard can you go? Because it might be long, it might like burn out the people, or they might do it. It just depends on the practice. But on average, what is like how much intake is involved, like with that person and the potential client?
Oh, so so we have an integrated model is one thing. So we help the firm sell the cases, and we'll also send the agreements. There's some cases that our agents will close. We don't get anything too intense, but that's what the lawyer's for. Then ideally, what we can do is we'll take as much time as it needs. Like that's what you're paying that person for, is because when someone's sole responsibility is to be handling leads and getting people to sign up, it's that person's not going to get distracted by the mail coming in and needing to scan it. That person's not going to get distracted by let's say, for example, there's a law change and they need to bring in 3 more paralegals for the week to work, and then there's not desk space. And even if they are working in office or remotely, you can really kind of help integrate this person in like that. And we love doing this. I mean, it worked great in the real estate space when we got involved in it. And then also the other side of it too is when we build up these other tools like setting up e-signature, automated appointment booking, these people have a chance to both book paid consults for you, and on top of that, send your agreements. So we want to take away all the pesky, time-consuming things, because what we've realized is most legal consultations only need to be 5 to 10 minutes. So a lot of the times, like if you can handle the customer service side, the lawyer can dedicate a lot less time per client, and ideally sell more. Because what we always tell people is the lawyer should be like a guest star in the sales process. Like it should be a treat to speak with a lawyer, like when you're working on your case. But a lot of what we'll do is like say for example, one of our agents calls out, books an appointment. They can book an appointment with the attorney, which is totally fine, or we'll book it with ourselves. They'll book it for themselves, and then they'll conference the attorney in for that 5 minutes, and then they don't have to handle all the "Hi, how are you?" all that. They'll handle that after the person pays and becomes a client, and they're reviewing their case. So it's I love doing it, but it's not sure if that answers everything.
No, that's even bigger than what's there. It's just yeah. So how far does the initial person go in the intake? I mean, do they go through a whole like what's your parents' names, dates of birth, or is it mostly focused on what is the issue, so you can find out what the issue is and what type of case it is? I guess more narrow
Oh,
part.
okay, yeah, that's well, for one, well, we want them to say everything they want to say before we ask questions. I mean, not that we don't want to be pointed, but we're getting all the essential information for them to sign up. And then also, like, it's if you want to hire an inside sales agent, this is also your worker. So this is someone that can help you with things, because
Hmm.
this person can also be like an intake coordinator. So after someone pays, they'll meet with that person, collect the information, and say, "Hey, this is the paralegal you're going to be working with. The attorney will meet with you, on Thursdays at 3, whatever it is." But then the next part of it is we're collecting enough information to really close the case. But
Hmm.
for example, it's based on what are the deal breakers of the case. So obviously, if people need a job offer for the case, they need a job offer to go through the sales process. So we're mostly trying to weed out like the really big red flags, because
Yeah.
what we don't want to do is you know lose people business because we're not asking the right questions, because we're not attorneys. I mean, it's totally fine. So we're collecting all the essentials just to get them to sign, and then whatever additional information comes out, we always document into an online system, and we make sure is aware of.
Very interesting. So, I mean, you have your hands full in 2021 and what you're doing and getting outreach and stuff. What's kind of going back to previous question? Is there what's your favorite social media way to market a brand right now? What did you say in 2021? Are you getting on
Yeah,
Clubhouse? Are you getting involved with that?
I am on Clubhouse. Yeah, I got a new phone for it actually. It's but yeah, I think Clubhouse is great. Well, for marketing my own business, we're very active in a lot of groups, LinkedIn. Um, we do cold call, but we do try to be constructive in cold calling and reach out to people first. But we own an outbound call service, so there's a good chance we have called some of the people on here. We cold email, and then for a lot of the lawyers we work with, it does depend on the clientele. But really, it seems like TikTok's probably one of the most profitable platforms, at least in 2020 and going into 2021. Then overall, say if you're going to do any of it, maybe do all of it or do as much of it as you can, because you never know where your consumers are going to be hanging out.
Yeah, it gets overwhelming for lawyers, but they're all good at. I always tell people like whatever you're most comfortable with doing, because some people don't like being on video, some people don't like using their phone for something when they use your computer, and Instagram I think is making it just integrated with Facebook, so you do it on your desktop. I got some invitation for that the other day because I hate typing on my phone and stuff. I'm like, oh, if it's online, I can do that, or this my because I just got a staff member that helps with that overseas, and Instagram kept logging me out because they thought I was fraud because there's a person in the Philippines logging in. So I'm like, I had to start uploading stuff myself, and I hate uploading stuff on my phone myself. And now that I think Facebook allows you to upload on a desktop, which is great, then the guy could do it overseas and save me that time of having to upload and write captions and descriptions on stuff and do ad symbols and hashtags and all that kind of stuff. But it's cool because things pop up like TikTok has been the star, and I've seen a lot of success in that. And everyone's like, okay, now what are we gonna do? Well, the Clubhouse comes, and I was talking with another attorney yesterday, and he was on Clubhouse, and there's another attorney. She has some sort of program that helps redesign the office to help streamline things too. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to hire her. She was great." I'm like, "Damn!" Like, something new pops
Yeah,
up.
it's quick.
Yeah, it's quick, but it means that something else is going to come up next year too. So as you can always, the internet really streamlines the system where you might be behind, but all of a sudden something new comes up, and you can jump forward and get on top of it and really grow. That's talking about Jacob. I mean, he's like I think number probably one on TikTok, but there's people that are close behind him, if not hitting on him, hitting his spot. And they're lawyers that weren't that famous on YouTube or have that much of a social media presence. They just went really hard at TikTok, and it's a wonderful app. I think it's people still don't get it or appreciate it, but the average age is rising, so it really hits a sweet spot for a lot of our types of cases.
Yeah, and I'd say the highest quality leads probably come from YouTube
Hmm.
because it's an actual search engine.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, though, is what we're really focused on as a company is, and I'd say unique to what a lot of other companies do, is what we're good at is getting people from fan to client. And
Hmm.
so, like, what we really specialize in is that process in between. And we actually started with a new lawyer just this morning that was, good TikTok following. They're doing their Facebook lives, but it's hundreds of people a week are seeing this person, and possibly thousands actually.
Hmm.
And then what we're really focused on is we want to create a big digital net to capture every possible opportunity, and then a system that's going to sift through that to allow you to actually turn these people into cases. Because it is kind of difficult as it's, if people see, like, if you're posting your phone number like into these these lives, whatever it happens to be, not a bad marketing strategy at all. We do it all the time. But you want to give people kind of different opportunity, but kind of for that whole reciprocity, what we talked about earlier, is it's very easy to say, hey, take our immigration quiz. Hey, why don't you watch a free training on this? Or, oh, hey, here's a free ebook on, let's say you do a DACA live. You can just have people fill out a page to do a DACA live, and to get a DACA ebook. Like we have a DACA quiz we've used with a number of our clients, and it's gotten thousands of people so far. And it's literally every question for the DACA requirements. People love filling it out. It's most of those people are millennials, so it really works out well.
Very interesting. Yeah, because these leads do come in at some higher rates once you get social media involved too, and you do have to sift through them because it could be overwhelming with the numbers that come in. Even if they're not that massive amount of numbers, if you're busy with work, to switch off and on like this, it makes things less efficient. It's something I've seen more and more in my practice. But I'm one of those lawyers that likes to do everything myself. But I am slowly, very slowly, but I have like sayings around me that say, stop doing, make a team, do it. It's really important. So people that have like services like yours, great. I'm moving towards the education and knowledge space with the magazine. So,
Yeah, that's a great place to be.
but the magazine itself is like so time consuming that I'm like, the attention of the magazine it seems like a much, I can scale it too. So that's why I developed a team for that's gonna be really good for people that could proofread stuff and could do digital aspects and all that sort of stuff. Because a law practice is fun, but I like doing new things. So I can't stick to one thing. But we have so many people here. I mean, our whole audience are the immigration lawyers who have practices and firms and staff. And so anything I could bring to them information wise that could help save them time and money and make them better at what they do, which is the whole goal of the toolbox. And your company, Immigration Finder, fits in that sweet spot because that's your goal too. So we have the shared goal. It's wonderful.
And like, I always wanted to get into legal marketing, but I never felt much of a personal connection to any other industry, because I was actually going to move to Panama at one point, and I kind of had the whole brush off experience with the law firm down there. And
Yeah.
I kind of knew what that was like. And I understand more now why that happened. Obviously, they were prioritizing, but like my business partner had like a lot of money to be investing down there, and they potentially lost this large client. So we really kind of like think back on that experience of, you don't know who's talking to all these other people that are coming into your firm. And
Yeah.
we love helping this industry. Our call center's in Nicaragua. A lot of the people used to live in the U.S. So it's a great experience. And also, we got an amazing country. Why don't we share it with people?
I'm going through the mortgage process right now for houses and stuff, and like it's very similar to the immigration process because the amount of documentation and back and forth and stuff, and it's really showed me the other side when clients like send everything. They're like, no, I need more. Then you're like, I need more. I need this tax. I need that W-2. And it's like, dude, I already sent everything. What else do you want? So it has caused me to reconfigure how I ask client stuff and how I request it, and to try to give them a heads up. So because a lot of times I'll think I'm done with this, and then the bank comes back and says, no, we need some more of this. So how can I make it so they don't get frustrated? Like, why is this guy asking more? And try to make the process better, which is, I guess, something that you focus on, the intake and communication with clients. Just try to smooth that process up so it's less stressful. Even after you're paid, even after a client, how could you make it easier on both parties having systems? It's all about systems. That's all it is. The great book called the E-Myth. It really talks.
Yeah, I love that book.
Yeah, it was a game changer. I'm still trying to implement it, even read it 2 years ago, but it's the way it's got to be. Systems you can't function without a system. Especially a lot of immigration attorneys are solo practices, and if they get sick for a week, they're messed up. But if they have some sort of system, if they have some sort of people, especially if you in Nicaragua, it's charge less and stuff like that. to help keep things moving while they may be down for a certain period of time. Like with, sorry, I'm talking so much, but with COVID came, I got worried. Like, what happens if I get COVID? I'm out for a week and we have a deadline or something. So I've been in touch with colleagues. Like, if something happens to me, this case has a filing deadline, please be on top of it or something like that. Just be prepared. Luckily, I didn't get sick. But anything's possible in this world with everything that we
Oh
see.
yeah. One of the firms we work with, we'd started working with them a little over a year before COVID. And they even mentioned that it was, if we didn't start working with you, I don't know what we would have done when COVID started. Because at the time we'd kind of built this, virtual system. I mean, everybody was in the same place, everybody was working in the same building, but we really built a system that gave people the opportunity to work abroad and just collaborate digitally.
Yeah.
And so it's a big thing. Plus, also like just with COVID, it's kind of introduced this whole work from home concept. There are people that are now looking for that type of employment, and
Hmm.
for someone that is good at what they do, be it sales, legal work, reception, they know that they're going to be able to find a job that they ideally want. So
Yeah.
being able to provide these opportunities for people is really an amazing thing. And also, it's just the security too. I mean, it's nice. Like if you want to go on vacation, and go on vacation, run your firm from your phone and your laptop, and check on things. There's virtual mail services. A lot of what we do isn't always necessarily our direct service. We implement or we introduce people to the right resources to actually help them grow and scale in a way that's comfortable. To where
Hmm.
they can go home at night and enjoy their, just enjoy their lives. Their employees don't have to work until 11 if a law changes. Like, so it's fun.
Well, so people could get more information. Definitely check out the Toolbox magazine. You have a nice spread there talking about that particular service I talked about earlier. But if people want to reach out to you, what website, what email, social media, what's the
Yeah.
best way to do that?
Well, immigrationfinder.com is a good way to reach out to us. You can hop on there, book a free call with us. I'd love to walk you through stuff. Well, for one, I am on LinkedIn quite a bit. I think I'm the only Ian Almasi on there. So if you want to hop on and look, that's a good way to do it. And then Ian at immigrationfinder.com is the email. But our website, we update our blog twice a week. We post videos on LinkedIn really regularly. So it's definitely an important thing. And then also the presentation that's actually in the magazine is immigrationfinder.com-ISA, just spelled out the letters ISA. If you want to go check that out, you can actually watch a video about how we help firms grow with outsourced solutions that are well, for one, a fixed cost, and they're not hard to implement. It's quick, it's simple, and it really solves the problem.
Yeah, that fixed cost is really key. It helps a lot of people budget out what things are. It's not as open ended.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Then obviously, like nothing's free. People do need to make money, but we want to give people like a business in a box to grow with. There's a lot more to the company, but we actually have like an entire intake CRM system that people use with us that a
Hmm.
number of solo practitioners can get on without having to sign up for 15 different softwares, a lot of their marketing and CRM and all
Could
these
you
different
explain
outreach
what CRM is?
tools.
I found like a lot of people aren't familiar. What contact CRM? What does it stand for? Contact something.
Customer relationship
Oh,
management.
there we go. Yeah, that's the right word.
Yeah,
What are
it's
those exactly?
it's a system to manage your leads, and then there are CRMs for it. Like a case management system is a CRM too. Like if you use DocketWise or Clio or FileVine or something, it's just in the legal industry they call it that. But
Hmm.
it's just a way to manage your people online. Then the nice thing too is if you want to be remote, you can have a system like that, and pass it off to people. It actually happened with one firm where one of the people wanted to move back home to a different time zone. I think it was LA to, I think it was Oklahoma, and that person was able to continue working with them. No change in service, nothing changed. I mean, she wasn't there physically, but that was really the only difference. The quality of work was the same. And then the other thing too is, the quality of life with her pay from LA and Oklahoma was way higher. So she got way happier. It was a great decision for her family. And then, yeah, it was good overall.
Less taxes and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know it's
Yeah, thank you so much for calling. Stay on the line. I'm going to end the broadcast for live, but stay on the line. Thank you everyone for watching. Check out his work at immigrationfinder.com and his article at Immigration Lawyers Toolbox/magazine with the first issue, the inaugural issue of the Immigration Lawyers Toolbox. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back
all
soon.
right. Yeah. Thank you, John.
You got it.